To tell you the truth, I'm not exactly in the mood to review this one right now. Just got home from work and I'm so mentally exhausted. And then I just had to read this chapter and I basically threw a temper tantrum because you're saying me, is this the fate of humans in Nanatsu no Taizai? So many times they are proven to be the bigger bastards than everyone else, and now it's turned out that it's true. However, people, getting back on what I said in the beginning, my reviews are not meant to be that good anyway, so I think I can do this. Normally I would have gone out on a jog first and then I would have done that, but that's not important. What is important on this chapter of Nanatsu no Taizai chapter 210, which by the way it took a freaking ass long time to be translated, mind you, but hey, I'm not a translator so I do not know. It turns out that the human, and the other barbarian humans are double agents. They are working for the demon clan, but they're not allied with the demon clan. They have one single purpose, for some reason wiping out stigma. Perhaps meaning that the humans really weren't on the side of stigma. And this just goes further back to that point that humans are almost bigger scum than the goddess clan, and I hate that. This also answers another question. This greatly answers the question of why the other clans have such distrust for humans, because they live long while humans do not, and then the humans tend to forget the what they did all the way back. However, those who are long lived, they do never forget that the humans were backstabbing people. But why? Why did they do all this? For what purpose did they have to defeat all stigma? Could it be that they wanted... Could this also have been just plain racism? Or did they really fear stigma and believed that by wiping them out humans will prosper? But this also gives us another clue. I think for the first time ever, people, we have gotten a clue on what this trial really is. If you all recall, way back, Meliodas, when he fought against Dolor and Gloxnia, he said, "I know of your reasons to go that way. Gloxnia, you were betrayed by the people you trusted the most and had something more precious than your life taken away from you. Dolor, you were a warrior who strove to be the strongest of all, but that pride was stumped upon. I thought that meant that the fairies betrayed Gloxnia and made a second king and then took the fairy tree which was more precious than his life. And I thought Dolor must have lost disgracefully in a duel. However, this may actually be a double hint. You were betrayed by the people you trusted the most. Gloxnia, or at least king in Gloxnia's body, somehow said, I trust you with the safety of my sister. Therefore he trusted the humans and they stabbed him in the back. And what was his most precious than his life? Well, maybe they tried to burn down the first fairy forest. Who knows? Or maybe he thought they took his sister's life away from him. And Dolor was a warrior who believed in pride, who wanted to be strongest of all, but his pride was stumped upon. And how can something like a pride be stumped upon? Only when someone fights dirty and backstabs that person, just like they just did. This also explains why Gloxnia and Dolor have such hatred for humans. In the end, I actually believe, and also why Gloxnia wishes for the extermination of the humankind. In the end, this answers the question on why Dolor and Gloxnia are among the Ten Commandments but do not follow the Ten Commandments' goals. It's just like these humans who teamed up with Demon Clan because they had a similar goal. The demons manipulated the Heaven's Gate to turn it into the Demon Gate in hopes of opening the gates of the underworld and freeing who knows what kind of monsters. And so these humans wanted to destroy stigma. It's the same with what Dolor and Gloxnia united with the the Ten Commandments. True, the Ten Commandments really did wish for the annihilation of humankind and all the other races that sealed them away. However, Dolor and Gloxnia probably did not care about the annihilation, or probably did not even want the annihilation of their own kind. They just wanted the annihilation of the humans, because they hate them so much. And given what we see of this flashback, it's not difficult to hate them. But it's so miserable that humans really have to be this corrupted. All in all, the chapter, as I said, Meraskala has manipulated the Heaven's Gate, and now it is turned into the Demon's Gate. It's being corrupted, which will unleash demons of considerable power. And Dolor and Gloxnia and King run towards the safe zone, discussing about how they want to protect their friends and many things more. And then Gother is the one who stops them and turns out the information. However, this Gother acts very differently than the Gother way before, while still talking emotionlessly. At the same time, he's also very, very much big of a troll. It's not exactly known if he's acting or anything else. As I said before, I cannot read Gother, nor do I exactly know what is wrong with Gother. However, King in Gloxnia's body says, this isn't Gother. So what the hell is that supposed to mean? Does that mean he meant the Gother from a way, way back? I mean, way, way forward in the 3,000 years of the Seven Commandments? Well, that's true. I mean, he lost his memories after all. Or is he meant to say that this Gother the Selfless, is an imposter after all? Who knows? It's we do not exactly know, but it may very well be that there is a connection somewhere. Who is this? Isn't the real Gother? Then who is it? I mean, the way for a moment there it looked like Gother could float, so I thought for a moment he was Merlin, but that cannot be. So, so is it possible that the Gother that was a doll really was a doll, and Merlin somehow took the memories of the and the body of the Ten Commandment Gother and made that doll Gother? Too confusing. Too confusing. All in all, that's basically this chapter. It answers the questions on why so many people have not trusted the humans. And I think, as I said before, we gotten the first clue on what this trial really is. Dolor and Gloxnia said, our choice, was it right back then? They probably made a choice to save their clans from the humans. But isn't it very likely that this trial is not what they have said it to be? As I said before, I still do not trust Gloxnia and Dolor. Their rage against humankind is understandable, but I also am trying to say that, is it possible that they are putting Diana and King through this in order to make them their successors? I mean, not Ten Commandments successors, but more like the successors of their respective clans in order to take revenge on the humans, perhaps even trying to put them on their sides, making them sympathize with them and realize that the goddess clan and the human clan are the real bastards. I mean, King and Diana have never really trusted humans that much. I mean, before Diana lost her memories, she did get friends with some humans, and while King never really said anything more about humans after all, he still have envied them. If anything, this trial should teach them that you shouldn't always talk down on humans after all. But I'm still just trying to say, can't this manga just have a moment where the clans are trying to unite? The one where they're trying to put aside their grudges, their hatred, and their racism, and just unite? Or are you trying to tell us that author is the key to that? I mean, author, not author. Arthur. You know, the knight. Who knows? Give me your thoughts if you have.